Hello family and friends and fellow YouTubers, it's Kim here from Kim's Country Corner, and today it is Monday, September the 23rd, the first day of autumn. It is already fall. I have no idea where this month went. It just zoomed on by. In fact, I don't even know where the summer went. The summer went by so fast. But in our household, fall, autumn means one important event is going to take place. And that is the making of Mom's chili. It's not quite cold outside yet, but it is much, much cooler today than what we have had in the past late weeks. So I have decided I am going to go ahead and make some chili today to celebrate fall. So I have my hamburger ready. I'm going to put it back here in the stock pot. Alright. And then I have a can of the Brooks Mild chili beans ready to go. So we'll just add them. Oh my. Okay, so I've added my Brooks chili beans, and I think I'm going to go ahead and bring you guys in closer now so you can see what's all going on. I think everyone knows how to make chili, but I'm very excited that this is my first time for the year, so I'm going to show you guys. Okay, so I have my hamburger in, and I just added my Brooks chili beans. It had a little bit of a hard crust on the top, and so I stuck my spoon down in there to loosen it, and it just splattered everywhere. But got my mess cleaned up, so we're ready to move on. Okay, and then yesterday you guys saw me canning whole tomatoes. Well, this particular jar did not seal. I have a feeling that's the one I forgot to wipe the rim on. So anyway, I didn't get a good seal, but it's okay. I can go ahead and use those up right away, which I'm going to do today. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them into this bowl, and then I'm going to crush them up by hand and add them to my mixture here. Okay, can y'all see that? Alright. It doesn't take very long to pull those apart. Just pull out of the way. Alright, and then the last thing I have is I have some onions over here sauteing in butter. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. Alright. So I'm going to get this stirred up. See if I can get you guys in here to see this. So you can see the beans and the hamburger, the onions, and the fresh tomatoes. It's very thick right now. I always get the thicker ingredients going first. I give them a real good stir. Alright. And then the last thing I add is tomato soup. And I'll tell you why I use soup. I used to use tomato juice all the time. I think that's what most recipes call for, is tomato juice. But one day I didn't have tomato juice, but I had a can of tomato soup. So I thought, well, I've got everything else, I'll just use the tomato soup. Well, if you have not tried chili using tomato soup, I would highly recommend it. To me, it is much more flavorful than just the juice. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in, and I'll add a half a can of water. Alright, I'll stir that up, and then all I have to do is wait for it to heat. Let me bring you guys in for one more look. Look delicious. Get some oyster crackers, some cheese. And I'm not supposed to have very much red meat. I realize that. But I have talked to my heart doctor about it. And he said a little bit of hamburger once in a while will be okay. My medicine will help balance it out. He just wants me to get in the habit of trying to eat more white meat when possible. So, but I gotta have my fall chili. Doesn't that look good? Alright. Okay, so I did end up adding another can of the tomato soup. Because I just wanted a little bit more liquid. And I don't know if y'all can see how creamy that looks now. It is really nice and thick and hearty and just so flavorful. So if you have not tried it with the tomato soup, I suggest you try it at least once and see if you don't like it better too. And then I did add just a sprinkle of chili powder. We don't like ours very hot, but I do put just enough chili powder in there to make it smell like chili. So, yeah, so that's the finishing touch. Alright, so next on the list is apple pie. And I have all the ingredients except for apples. I wonder where I can find some apples. Let's go find some apples. So the other day when I was out here and I picked apples, we ended up eating those for snack. But we have plenty more that we can choose from. So I'm just going to get me some apples to go in my apple pie. All right. Okay, so there's a basket full. I picked out some Red Delicious, but then I also picked up some Macintosh. And the two apples together will make a really nice pie. And look, we're not the only ones who like apples. Do you hear those blue jays, Paulo? Yes, I hear them too. I know. Is that apple good? It is so nice to look out the window and see these zinnias are still holding on. These beautiful bright oranges. You'll see a butterfly every now and then. There's one right there. It's not a monarch, but still pretty. Oh, what a beautiful fall day. Just gorgeous out here. Warm, but not hot. Alright, need to get back in so we can fix this apple pie. Okay, so I decided to bring in a few of the orange flowers. I think I'll call this my favorite things about fall, since it's the first day of fall. And of course, orange is kind of a fall color. So I decided to bring in the orange zinnias. It's too early to get pumpkins. You carve them now and they'll be all yucky by the end of October. So, so I'm waiting on pumpkins, but the orange zinnias are just beautiful. And then of course the red apples. And I've got my homemade chili back here simmering on the stove for supper tonight. But I just love fall. I think fall's my most favorite time of the year. I don't know, I think it's maybe because things start to slow down and the harvest is coming on, and you get to enjoy all the produce from your hard summer work. I like the sounds of fall. We don't have the combines going just yet, but I love when the combines all start working and they're cutting the corn and cutting the soybeans and getting ready for another batch of hay and the straw. So, and of course I like the scarecrows. They're always so cute to look at. I'll need to make up my fall outdoor display pretty soon. I just have not gotten there yet. is just the first day of fall, so we have a few more months to go. This homestead is just loaded with fall things. We have pecans coming on, walnuts already dropping. I've seen a couple of squirrels already start packing the walnuts away. The blue jays are coming back. You can hear them outside already looking for food. I don't put out the food until, probably November, but they're already here knowing that I usually have some. And then of course all the fall festivals and the carving of the pumpkins. So I thought I would just share one more thing that's special about fall. My birthday falls in the fall. It's in September. And it's always nice to get little presents from my children and grandchildren, and cards from my brother and sister. And my brother is treating me to a special birthday this year. I like this a cappella country group called Home Free. They had won the sing-off several years ago. I used to watch the sing-off with my brother. And they had won, I think it was season 4. And I just love them. They won the year after Pentatonics. I think Pentatonics won year 3 and Home Free won year 4. And I like both. I like Pentatonics and I like Home Free, and I think they're both very, very good in their own genre. I think sometimes Home Free gets, I don't know, overlooked a little bit because it's a country type group, unlike Pentatonics that kind of covers more popular music, or pop music, I guess I should say, because country is popular. It's just not pop. Anyhow, you get my point. So he got me tickets to see Home Free live in concert. Down in Springfield, Missouri, they're going to be putting on a performance on October the 2nd. And even though my birthday is September the 2nd, he went ahead and got the tickets and surprised me for my birthday. You know, so it's kind of a belated gift, but I don't care. I'm so excited to see Home Free because I just love country music. And the last time that I was ever at a music concert, because I really don't get into following groups that much that I go to all the concerts. You know, I'm not a big concert person. But I love Johnny Cash, loved Johnny Cash, and, well, still do, I guess. And he came to the college that I attended and did a concert with his wife, June Carter Cash, at our big multi-purpose building. And so I was so excited because I got to see him perform. And that was the last concert performance I was ever at. And that was in my college years, which would have been between 83 and 86. So somewhere in there is when I saw Johnny Cash. And Home Free, the group that I like, they do a couple of Johnny Cash songs. And one of the songs, of course, that Johnny Cash was popular for was, what is it? Ring of Fire. Okay, Ring of Fire. And actually, June Carter Cash is the one that wrote the song. But Johnny and June are known for singing it. And the a cappella group sings that song and does an amazing job. A cappella is where a band does not use musical instruments. They only use their voices. But they have what's called a beatboxer. And that's a guy that doesn't sing. He just makes all the musical instruments with his voice. I mean, it's amazing the instruments that this guy can make with his voice. And I just, sometimes whenever I hear him, I think to myself, man, I bet he just drove his teachers nuts. But, you know, because I can hear him practicing in the classroom, you know. Anyhow, but he is really good. So he does all the instruments, and he does a drum solo during the concert using just his voice. So I'm looking forward to hearing that too. But the singers are just so harmonious, and I can't wait to see that group, so I'm looking forward to it. And so after this week, I will be leaving to go back down to my brother's for a week, and then after I get down at my brother's, I will come back up through Columbia, Missouri and stay at my daughter's for a week. So I'm going to be gone for a couple of weeks, and I don't know how much videotaping I'll do while I'm gone. You know, I'll do what I can. I might be able to get a little bit of the concert because I do know that other people have taped their concerts and posted them. So I might try to get a little bit of that, but I want to enjoy it, not just tape it. And if Steve and I do anything special, I'll of course show you that. And if Katie and I do anything special, I'll show you that. But it won't be daily videos like I've been doing here on the homestead, putting out homesteading videos. So. Alright, yeah, I just wanted to share that birthday surprise with you because I'm very excited about it. Alright, I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. So yes, lots of reasons to celebrate fall, and I hope that you find some good reasons to celebrate today too. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up my apples, and as soon as I have my pie ready, because this is not going to be a how to make an apple pie. There's plenty of other channels out there on how to make an apple pie, and I just follow what's in the Betty Crocker cookbook that I was given for a wedding present 32 years ago now, 33 years ago. So, you know, it's just standard apple pie recipe. Okay, so I think I will go ahead and read this recipe to you. It's real simple. First thing is, I always just buy the Pillsbury pie crust. This one's slightly outdated, but I think it's still going to be good enough. It just says best if used by. So, like I said, I think it'll be good enough. Okay, so I have my pie crust. And then it calls for 6 cups of thinly sliced pared tart apples. This says about 6 medium, but I think I did more like 10. So, okay, so I have my apples. Alright, and then it says 3/4 cup of sugar. That's a 1/2 cup. So, that's about 3/4. Alright, and then it says 1/4 cup of flour. Okay, this is a 1/2 cup, so I only need half of that. Alright, a 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. Perfect. And this just got the sprinkle kind. We'll see what I can get done. Alright, that's about. I did say that this wasn't going to be a how-to, right? Okay. And then a 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Of course, it's going to be new. There we go. Alright, I like just a little bit more cinnamon in mine. Alright, and then a dash of salt. And 2 tablespoons of butter or margarine. Alright. So I have the butter and the margarine right here. This used to be a stick, so I'm going to kind of semi-guess. There, that's about right. Alright, so let's get all this mixed up. should have probably maybe melted that butter ahead of time, but it'll be alright. Where did it go? Let me make sure I get it chopped up though. There it is. Get everything well coated. Alright, I'm just going to layer that into my pie crust. Or if you're in a hurry, dump it. Layering and dumping, that's the same thing, right? Now these apples will cook down, so even though it looks pretty full, it's going to cook down. Alright, now, let me get the rest of this just dumped on there. Okay, since I'm not 100% sure where that butter went to, I think I got most of it chopped up. I'm going to go ahead and just dab some on the top. Believe it or not, John makes the apple pies around here most normally. And you walk in and he has no measurement cups out, nothing. He just eyeballs it. He's like, what's a little bit of extra butter going to hurt, you know? What's a little bit of extra sugar going to hurt? So, I'll pull it, John, and just eyeball it. Alright, there we go. John loves apple pies, and a lot of times I am not here to make them, or I don't feel like making them, or he just feels like doing it himself, and so he'll make an apple pie. And he's very good at it. Alright, so then I'm just going to put that one on top, kind of squish the two together. Ta-da! Let's see, I was supposed to preheat my oven, wasn't I? 425. Like, I'm a pretty good cook, I mean, I'll have to say. But sometimes I just don't feel like cooking. Come on, you guys can relate to that, right? I don't feel like cooking, but he's hungry for something, you know? So, he has learned to do things on his own. It's a good thing he doesn't hold me to the same standards, though, because I still don't think I could change a tire. But, alright. Then what I'm going to do is, yeah, I like to spread some butter over the top of this. I'm a butter person. So I just kind of spread that on, just like you would do if it was butter bread. My son knows how to cook. All my kids know how to cook. Katie does. Katie's kind of like me. She doesn't really like to cook, but she'll do it if she, you know, needs to or feels like eating something special. But my kids grew up with me just being like a single mom. I mean, John was, you know, very supportive, but he was always working, and we lived separately, and so the kids kind of grew up being a single mom with a single parent. And So a lot of times if they got home from school and I wasn't home from work yet, they would have to, like fix them a snack and sometimes even fix the, the supper meal. And since Paul was the oldest, he would be the one doing it. My middle daughter, Karen, loves to tell the story that she used to think that Paul was an amazing cook because on the days that I didn't get home from work in time and he was responsible for the supper, he would fix vegetable soup and grilled cheese. And the girls just thought it was the best vegetable soup ever. And then as they got older, they realized that all he was doing was opening cans of Campbell's vegetable soup and putting it in a pan and heating it up, But hey, I thought that was really cute that here these 7 and 9-year-olds were thinking that their big brother was this great cook, and was taking care of them so well. So, all right, let's get some slices in here. They still share that story just about every Thanksgiving. We'll share that story about Paul, the great cook. But Paul does cook. I mean, he fixes chili and he fixes steaks and hamburgers, and so everyone in my household knows how to cook, including me. So, all right. So there's my apple pie to celebrate the first day of fall. All right, we'll wait for this oven to beep, and then I'll put it in and I'll show it to you when we get it out. Okay, so I don't forget to tell you, I am going to cook this in a 425 degree oven for 40 to 50 minutes. So, that's how long. And then one thing to keep your crust from burning too is you can put an aluminum foil tint over the top, which is what I normally do. And then the last 5 to 10 minutes I'll take that aluminum foil off so that the crust can continue to brown naturally on its own. So, all right. Okay, so for my first treat, my first favorite food of fall, I have my bowl of chili. And I like to have some oyster crackers. It looks and smells so good. Do you see my homegrown tomato right there? Yep. Very good. Okay, so I did go ahead and take out the first piece. The first piece is always the hardest to get out, so it doesn't look very pretty. But oh, it's going to taste so good. Let's see if I can do this without burning myself. Yeah, so good. Okay, friends, well, I'm going to call this a day. If you've enjoyed this video about my celebration of fall and all the joys that I find in the season, please give me a thumbs up. And if you want to know more about what's going on in my corner of the world, hit that subscribe button to Kim's Country Corner, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye for now. So good.